So hi, this is the painting that we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to run through all the things that you need. So you need a watercolour pad, and I'm using this Strathmore watercolour pad, either the yellow or the brown, and it's 11 inches by 15 inches, £140. We're going to cut a piece in half, so we're going to take half of this, and you're going to need a board of some kind. Make sure you've got the right side of the paper, which is rough, and you're going to tape it to the board with blue painter's tape. These are the other things you're going to need: a hairdryer, a jar of water, paper towel, Q-tip, and these on here. So you're going to need a palette of some sort. I'm using just a white plastic plate, X-Acto knife, old toothbrush, pencil, eraser, some Meadow drawing gum or masking fluid, white wax crayon, painter's soap or brush cleaner, and then a selection of brushes. So a mop brush, a large round brush, a medium size round, and a small, and if you can get one, a rigger type brush, and a sponge. And then we'll run through the actual colours that you're going to be using. So sap green, ultramarine blue, Payne's grey, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, light red, burnt umber, alizarin crimson, and violet. If you can't get alizarin crimson, you can still use the light red or burnt sienna, or if you can't get light red, burnt sienna and burnt umber are fine. And that's everything that you need to start the painting with. So the next stage is to actually do a brief outline of the drawing. So you want to draw in your horizon line. It doesn't have to be straight, it's a slight curve. The mountain, where the trees are going to be, just where the edge of the colours start, and then draw in some rough lines for the grasses at the front. Don't push too hard because pencil actually shows through some of the watercolour. So draw your outline, and then the next step is to wet your brush and use the painter's soap, and you're going to coat your brush with the painter's soap. And this is to protect the actual brush when you're using masking fluid. It's like a glue, and if you just put your brush straight into the masking fluid, it will ruin your brush. You'll never be able to get the glue out. But if you put the soap on first, you'll be able to wash the masking fluid off. So the masking fluid is this liquid glue. You're going to dip your brush into it, and then you're going to paint with it, and it's going to create all the white spots on here. So once you've painted over it, it will mask it from the colour. So you want to add it at this stage, and you're just going to go over the whole painting in the areas where you still want white. And you're probably going to paint in the actual stalks of the grasses as well. these little white areas here are actually meant to represent drops of water that were on the grasses in the morning when I took the photograph. So you cover all the areas that you want to have white. And you keep this on the painting until the very end. So you put all the colours over the top of it, and then you remove the glue. That's the final thing that you do. Don't paint over until the masking fluid is completely dry. So you should have covered all the grasses with the masking fluid, and it should be dry. It's slightly sticky to touch. So in watercolour painting, you always work from the sky, the background, the lightest areas forwards. So you do the lightest colours first, which are in the distance, and then you work towards the foreground, and the final things you do with the foreground and the darker colours. So we're going to do the sky. So you can pick up either the mop brush or the bigger round brush. I put all the paints out on the palette, and we're going to use ultramarine blue. So first of all, you're going to actually paint the sky just with water, leaving some areas of white for where the clouds will be. And you can take it down as far as the horizon line. And with watercolours, you always add lots of water to the colour. You never directly put paint on the paper without mixing water in first. So you want a fairly watery mix, and then you add it to the paper where it's already wet. In a little bit of Payne's grey. Again, add water to it. You can just highlight the undersides of the clouds. And maybe add a tiny bit of light red. Another neat thing you can do is actually tilt the painting. Okay, so that's pretty wet now. So you can't do any more to it at this stage. If you add anything to the foreground or on the green, it will all mix in together. So at this stage, you need to actually dry it with a hairdryer.